truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 Pacific for about an hour or 90 minutes each day. We do 3 gun-related topics, different topics throughout the week. We run it live on YouTube. We're simulcasting it over at gunchannels.com, where we're watching the live comments that are coming in from everybody who joins us live. And then when it's all over, we've been taking the audio and posting it over on iTunes, but we're definitely looking for some feedback from people over there. So please use the platforms that you listen to the show on to let us know where you are. It also helps to get the show recommended to more listeners, so we do appreciate that favor. There's 5 hosts. 3 of us are here right now. We got Bob jumping in from Canada, but I think you're in Albuquerque still. And unplug your mic probably. And then we got Dano jumping in from Illinois.
Yep, glad to be here.
I'm down here in Arizona. We don't know where Smeggy is. Then we got Z probably jump in about an hour when he's done with his one of his 9 to 5s. So let's see. Today we are on episode 292. We're going to be talking about a recent circuit court decision that's about ARs. Z sounded like you knew what that was, so if we want to wait on that. Otherwise, we'll be talking about backup guns on your leg as the good idea, bad idea segment. And then I'm hoping Dano has something to talk about as far as Minnesota. And then it might be Z on his own doing the hashtag Showdown today. But before we jump into it, we usually take a break at the beginning like this, see if anything happened overnight, anything worth talking about.
I got nothing in regards to overnight. And I do know, just as a teaser, that bit about ARs and guns, it is one specific state. I won't give away any more than that. But that is it. Now,
all right. Well, I was getting something to drink, so I'm assuming Dan or Bob's not back yet.
No, he's not back yet.
All right. Well, Matt had a show last night, and it was pretty good. And I guess we'll mention that. We Like Shooting was on last night, Locked and Loaded, and they were all good shows. We will dig into it, I suppose, then. So do we want to go straight into Minnesota?
Oh, actually, I was just pulling that up as we speak right now. Sure, we can if you like.
Have you ever had an opportunity to go to Minnesota with a gun yet?
With the gun, no.
Yeah, me either. When I was a little kid, I went to Minnesota all the time, but never carried a gun or anything. And then by the time I got my CCW, I actually got my Nevada CCW specifically for Minnesota, because back then I was still fishing quite a bit. And I anticipated going up there to go fishing, but I just never did.
Yeah, and when carry was finally allowed in my state at that time, they did not recognize Illinois permits. And I don't know if they do today or not. So, but we'll go ahead and kind of give the state of the state, so to speak. In regards to a state permit to purchase, yes, you do need that for handguns, but do not need it for long guns. In regards to firearm registration, there is none. They do have assault weapons laws in regards to pistols and long guns. There is no capacity restriction for either long guns or short guns. There is no owner license required. Like in Illinois, we have a FOID card. They do not. And they do have carry permits required for handguns, but not for long guns. And they do have open carry. I'm trying to read something here just for a second, so just give me 30 seconds.
It's a good time. Just a good time to ask people in the audience who might be listening live if anybody's got any experience or has lived in Minnesota and knows some of the issues with carry up there?
Okay, the open carry is you may carry a pistol or long gun openly with a permit to carry a pistol. So if you have a concealed carry pistol permit, then you can open carry. So it's not open carry for everybody. It's open carry if you have a concealed carry card. In regards to preemption of local restrictions, municipalities may regulate the discharge of firearms, meaning Minneapolis, if they want, can do a more restrictive gun laws than necessarily St. Paul, Minnesota, just as an example. NFA weapons are restricted. Machine guns and short-barreled shotguns, unless designated curios and relics, are prohibited in most cases. They do respect peaceable journey laws, which goes back into the transportation or driving through the state. And in regards to private sales, there is no background check required for pistol or long gun. And that is the state of Minnesota. Now, I do know that from a person that I know that has a carry permit in Minnesota is there is classroom training required. There's also a shooting test that is required to be completed successfully. And there is a fee to be paid to the state, although I don't recall what the fee is. They told me, I just don't remember. It is a Mother May I state, so you have to get permission from your local chief law enforcement officer to carry. At least as of 3 years ago it was. Well, that may have changed, but that's the way it was back then.
As far as manufacturers in Minnesota, I know that, let's see, we got Magnum Research up there, and Boberg is in St. Paul, Minnesota. Was DPMS in Minnesota also?
I don't know. Because a lot of times companies will have their corporate headquarters in one location for tax reasons, but have their manufacturing in another location. That's like, I mean, one of the first companies, I realize it's not about guns, but it is about that. To do that was Intel. Intel transferred their corporate headquarters to Ireland.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any like tax issues or laws or anything that make Minnesota advantageous for businesses like Nevada or like Delaware, where they get no state tax or no corporate.
Right. So I know Smeggy just jumped in here. Smeg, we just finished the state of Minnesota. You have anything you want to throw in on that general topic?
Not right at this moment. I don't know a lot about Minnesota. I'll go jump over to Every Second Matters real quick, see if there's any bills have been added that, like if there's any ongoing stuff.
Sure. We can always come back to it for that portion.
Do we know if Michigan has stolen any land from Minnesota?
Michigan didn't steal any land from anybody, including Minnesota.
A couple of cheeseheads might differ.
Well, they were Ohio at the time, so they don't count. But yeah, CNN going on at the moment. So if anybody add it in there and keep everyone updated. But yeah, no new topics. So nothing's been added to everysecondmatters.com for Minnesota.
Right on, that's a good point. We should mention that whenever we do this segment on Tuesdays about these states, if you're taking your pistol to the microphone because we're not addressing something that's important or something you know about, then you can definitely post it, like Smeggy's saying, over at everysecondmatters.com. There's a section for the states there, state 2A, and then just alphabetically go down to Minnesota. And please, we encourage you to type as much as you want in there, so that, or link to as much as you want, or post memes or pictures or links to the various gun owners' rights groups in Arizona and Minnesota. Looks like we're lacking.
Is that because there's only like 3 people that live there because it's all cold and stuff?
I'm just thinking it might just be they're lazy, right? You know, because
Their proximity to Canada.
it's almost like being in Canada, right? So, you got the whole winter thing, right? You just got to stay in your house, huddled around the fire, and so it kind of breeds laziness. It's the way it is,
So is that how Canada lost all its gun rights? Laziness?
Yeah, you know what? I think a lot of it had to do with that. That and most of the people tend to live in big cities, like huddled around the border, and so they don't really care about guns. The ones who do all live in the West. We're kind of hardier. We actually go out in the winter and decide, gee, it's only minus 30. Let's go skidooing at 70 miles an hour and add some wind chill to that.
I'm gonna say going back to Minnesota here real quick. What's this note someone put in there? Maybe you guys mentioned. I do apologize for being late and missing the last few days. I've been out of town for work and I just finished my taxes, so I didn't want to be distracted while doing that. It says recent circuit court decision, AR is not covered by Second Amendment. Is that something that was Minnesota specific?
That's something we're going to cover a little bit later.
Oh,
We put it in the wrong place in the schedule.
Sneak peek. Just kidding. Haha. So, anyways, okay. Sorry. See, this is why I don't use the notes that much because I never read them right.
I usually put stuff in the side chat rather than just read it out loud.
Well, I thought it was in. I thought that was something to mention. So whatever.
I would think the Minnesota is one of those states where it should be pretty pro-gun. No, it's mostly rural, from what I understand, from what I've experienced of it, and people are, self-sufficient types as opposed to, let's wait.
Geographically, yes. In population-wise, no. Because you have the twin cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and all the suburbs, and their suburbs are actually quite large. And of course, that's where the capital is, and that really dominates the direction of the state overall. So they are, and that's why they're not more gun friendly than they are at this point.
Now, I might be missing something because all I know them for is fishing. But what's Minnesota all about? What's their thing? They don't farm up there, do they?
Sure, they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you go west of Minneapolis, St. Paul. It's as flat as a pool table.
It's not full of lakes and trees like the part of Minnesota I'm familiar with.
Well, I mean, it's a mixture. I mean, it's on the license plate. It says the land of 10,000 lakes. Of course, not all their lakes are more pond sized, but they vary. They're all over the place.
Yeah, but I guess I haven't really been to South. I've been to Western Minnesota at all. I guess I've only ever come up through like Wisconsin to Canada.
Right. If you go up through the Mississippi, Valley area, and then I forget the name of the other major river that splits off from the Mississippi right there on the eastern side. Of course, it's all lakes everywhere, hills and valleys, and then of course going up north is serious, forested areas. But it also has, huge flatlands for agriculture as well. I mean, it's a mixed state in regards to topology.
Yeah, I just think it has kind of a shorter growing season, though. I mean, there probably is farms and stuff, but being so far north, I mean, they get a pretty good winter, so it's not as good as some of the other places.
They go crops south and north.
Grows most of the grain, right? You understand that Canada grows huge amounts of grain for the world.
Yes. The north-south thing is more of a fallacy than people think, because North and South Dakota is not as far north and south as Minnesota is. And as Bob just said, in Canada, they grow wheat and all sorts of other grains up there where the season is even shorter. They just have to have a different hybrid.
Lots of rape up there, too.
Well, I don't know about that.
Anyway, so guns are cool. I'm sorry we sidetracked on that, but
rapeseed. So they have 5.5 million people as of 2015. That's 68 people per square mile, with an average income of $68,000. That's the median household income. That's pretty high, no? It's more than I make.
Yeah.
But you know,
Not,
a quarter of
is that
that
the
goes for
population
heat.
of the entire state?
That's the entire state, I guess. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, then easily close to half of that is just the Twin Cities area.
It says they're the sixth largest for the sixth in ranking for household income, so they're a pretty wealthy state. Their highest point is 2,000 feet. Their lowest point is 600 feet.
Right. I mean, some things that are similar to Illinois in regards to there's one big metropolitan area that tends to dictate to the rest of the state.
I don't pay attention enough to Minnesota. So is that that's the big city you go through? Is that Duluth? The big city?
No, the big city you go through is Minneapolis, St. Paul.
And then Duluth is the little one up by the ocean, by the river, or by the lake.
Yeah, that's up top.
So the big one though, St. Paul is the state capital. So you're saying everything is pretty much there.
Yeah, and Minneapolis is like 15, 20 miles away from it.
And then I was gonna say, do you know if they're getting any of this fracking money? Are they doing the fracking there?
I don't know.
North Dakota's making some pretty decent money, right? South Dakota perhaps, and
Right.
then they're right there. So
And they're also able to heat their homes through their water faucets. So if you consider that a bonus, is like free heat.
oh, you're saying because their water's on fire?
Yeah.
I guess that depends on who you talk to. But I'm just curious as to the state of the state a little bit, besides just the gun thing. And it's interesting that they're the sixth highest. You know, I wouldn't have thought of Minnesota as being the sixth highest in economic, whatever.
Yeah, it's a combination of, you know, they have a number of like 3M is corporate headquarters are there, along with several other very large international corporations.
I'm gonna say I thought they had a lot of like internet stuff, like big computer companies or like tech companies were also there.
Yes, and
So those are all high paying jobs, mostly.
So I went down to Wikipedia's economy section for Minnesota. Once primarily a producer of raw materials, Minnesota's economy is transformed to emphasize finished products and services. Like you guys are saying, perhaps the most significant characteristic of their economy is the diversity, relative outputs, business sectors, blah, blah, blah. Has a gross domestic product of $262 billion. 33 of the United States top 1,000 publicly traded companies are headquartered in Minnesota. Target, United Healthcare Group, 3M, General Mills, U.S. Bancorp, Ameriprise, Hormel, Land O'Lakes, Best Buy, Valspar. I don't know what these other ones are. So yeah, really big companies hang out there. 33. That's a third of the top 1,000 companies are in Minnesota. So maybe they do have some kind of tax incentive. Or do you think it's just because the land's cheap and they can get big mansions up there and nobody bothers them?
well, most of those companies that you named have been there for many, many decades. So I don't know what it was like in the 40s, 50s, 60s when they actually started up there.
Yeah. But they just didn't move. They just started there.
Right.
And there.
I mean, once all your people are there and your buildings are there, it's not easy to pick up and move.
It looks like in 2008, their capita personal income was 42,000. It moved up to 55. So they're definitely a growing state too. So
Right.
yeah, see Minnesota come along with the pro-gun stuff. Let's see some members from on gun channels over there. I don't think we were trying to think about who was a member from Minnesota. We don't really have that many.
Right.
Who comes from Minnesota in popular culture? Prince, Minnesota.
Yep.
That's it, right?
Yep.
I think that's it. And then the
That's
movie.
where he died.
And
He
then
died
the
in
movie.
his home. They found him in the elevator of his mansion, dead.
Well, now you thought you were going to spend a bunch of money to go up to visit Minnesota. Thanks to the show, you don't have to. So you can spend that money on our Patreon. We appreciate it. Garrison Keeler is from there.
But I do have to say that's something really, I would say, you know, he's more popular with what I'll call the elderly.
So cycle camp, you can take that up with Dano.
Well, Well, I'm just saying the only people I know that regularly listen to it, and I'm 55.
So you're saying you kind of like them then, Dano, you're saying, right? The elderly?
People I know that are in their 70s and 80s either listen to the reruns or used to listen to him when he was live on PBS.
Yeah, it's a little different when there was options. I mean, when there was a lack of options. I don't know if he could get popularity on the internet now. But anyway, so that's a little bit about Minnesota. And if you got something to add to it, feel free to throw it over in Every Second Matters, because that's what it's for. Or you can always email us at dailygunshow@gmail.com. Not that we're going to put it in Every Second Matters for you, but we will mention something if we miss something here that was worth mentioning. And if you are from Minnesota and you're going to contribute like that, then we encourage you to, like I say, join gun channels. There's no cost. And you can add to the conversation when we talk about stuff like issues that might have something to do with Minnesota. So I think with that, we can move on to the next one, eh?
Don't you know?
We'll go into good idea, bad idea, eh? And
For sure, eh?
Well, actually, there's a self-defense bill advancing in the legislature as of March 22nd. Urgent action needed. So there's some sort of self-defense bill in Minnesota.
Oh, well. And all you people in Minnesota, get up from around those fires and get out there and start changing the way your state is run.
Well, they're probably fires.
The only people, right? The people are the ones who make the rules. You just got to make sure that you do your part.
And constitutional carry was proposed. It was introduced, looks like, in February. Well, it was in January. Then in February, it says second constitutional/permitless carry bill introduced. So I don't know how friendly they are to constitutional carry, but maybe that will be one of the states we talk about soon that gets it. So there was a couple things going on there. Anyways, let's move on now. Sorry about that.
I had to walk away there. So Colt is asking on the YouTube side if Cork is from Minnesota. He is from Wisconsin because of the cheese.
And for those wondering, he's still in Wisconsin, just a different town.
So with that, I think we'll jump into that good idea, bad idea. Backup load gun on your leg. Before we do, we like to take a break between the first and second segment of the show each day to feature one of the members over at Gun Channels. Gun Channels is a community we built a while back, focused on firearms, completely member driven. And this week we've got a bit of a theme with the members we're featuring. Yesterday it was Catch, I think, and Catch Bay out in Finland. Today it's Flath from Canada, our favorite Canadian member of Gun Channels.
Absolutely.
Who joins in the conversation.
He has a sense of humor, unlike the other one. He knows when he's wrong, unlike the other one, and he's a good guy.
Well, hold on. We've got at least 3 or 4 regular members from Canada, and possibly even more than when we always want, because they do bring some good insight. But in fact, Flath is again, one of the reasons we built Gun Channels was for a specific circumstance we had over with the communicating with Google video or the YouTube videos. But one of the unseen benefits of building the place like this was for people like Flath, who he works basically jobs, right, for 6 months at a time, or however long they are, and then he comes back.
He works in the oil field now.
Well, yeah, he does different things out like away from his computers. So he comes back to his computers and he's got plenty of time to bullshit. And whenever I'm assuming when you've got jobs like that or gigs like that that give you all kinds of free time and then you're never around, your other people in your life still have things to do. So there's times when he's got all the time in the world and there's nobody around to BS with. So he jumps on Gun Channels and has somebody to talk guns with. So, I never would have thought about it, but we actually had quite a few people now over the years who've had similar employment situations like that, where they'll be on quite regularly and then they're on their job and you don't see them at all for a while, and then sure enough they're back again, or maybe their schedules change or something. But anyway, so taking in or using Gun Channels in a way that we didn't even realize it was going to be useful for, and he brings a lot to the conversation. He likes a lot of different kind of guns. Even though he's Canadian, he's got a lot of interest in them, I guess, interest in different types of guns and talking about reloading or hunting or whatever it might be. And I guess specifically we're talking about him this week because he's heading down to Texas. So also going to be in the club. We should probably put a badge over there for people that have had meetups. But he'll be in the club of people on gun channels who have had the chance to meet each other in person. So he'll be meeting some of the people in Texas. I don't know
Would
if
that
Bob,
be like a verified member?
Yeah, he'll be verified.
But Bob, are you going to try to wait around long enough to hook up with him as he's going south and you're going north?
Yeah, if I can, yeah. I mean, when's he coming south?
I think in May, and if you're going to be around till May, then that might just be you lollygagging through going on your way north again or something.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, if I really take my time, we could probably meet up in Colorado. That'd be kind of cool. Have some beers.
All right. So I guess with that, we'll move into the good idea, bad idea. Every week we try to come up with something that we can disagree on so we can talk about the different sides of it. This week it is backup guns on your leg. So I'll just go quickly left to right. If you're good idea or bad idea, Bob, backup gun on your leg.
For a chick, sure, because you can put it on your thigh because you're wearing a dress. For a dude, it's on your ankle, and I don't really like that idea.
It's either a good idea or bad idea.
Dano, with less than a paragraph? Less than a paragraph, please.
Yeah. Either good idea, bad idea, explanations later.
You're
Bad
up.
idea.
Okay, you're up, Dano.
Depends.
After giving Bob all that crap, and then you're gonna be like, "Well,
You like that?
How about Smeggy then?
good idea."
I'm going to say good idea also. So I guess we'll go into the depends side of the conversation.
Oh.
But on a lighter note, it's very where you're going to carry dependent. As far as obviously it's a very slow way to draw. Takes a lot of time. So
Great if you're already on your ass on the ground, I guess. But I mean, unless you're better, you're not going to be wearing that dress with a slit up the side.
But we are talking about a backup gun. So something else has already gone wrong, or something else is not available to you for some unknown reason. So it's as a backup gun. Let's say if you're driving, putting one hand on the wheel and as the other hand goes down to your ankle is possible, especially if you got a seatbelt on. Where if you have a traditional holster on, your seatbelt may stop you from getting to your backup gun if that's where you have it.
Carry your backup as a cross draw. I mean, that makes more sense, right? Carry your standard sidearm and then have backup as a cross draw.
We're not comparing it to other types of carry, just saying on its own merits.
All right. Well, I'm saying it's silly, and I don't see any reason to wear it other than unless you want to play Mr. Detective, super concealed carry.
I think in some situations it's very much the best way to go, but in most situations it probably isn't. Depends. Smeg?
Well, I mean, I think it's a good idea just because the reason you might go to a backup is because, obviously you can't get to your primary. I know sometimes it's because, your primary, you've already used it and then something else goes wrong. But it could just be you can't get to your regular one. So if you can't get to your primary, then that means you probably can't get to anything else around your waist area. So your backup should be further away because if, like I said, if there's some reason, like let's say someone's, I don't know, whatever, like sitting on you or something when you're down, you can reach your arm around down to your leg, but you can't get up to your waist because they're like punching you in the stomach or something. I don't know what they're doing, but so that's why it's like it gives diversity of where you're drawing from. So if you can get to your waist, great, use your primary. If you can't get to your waist, then having your backup near there doesn't help you that much anyways. So why not have your backup someplace further away? Now, I will admit there are still some downsides with ankle carry, but and you mentioned that already. You know, it is slow to draw. And the other thing, actually, if you are in some type of wrestling type thing, you know, and they do get on the ground, normally the bad guy is between you and your ankle, you know, because let's say they're in like full mount or something and choking you or whatever, like that's, you know, it's going to be even harder to get to.
We're
But
not talking about your
Cycle Camp,
dating moves, Smeggy. We're talking about, you know, concealed carry. Just saying.
All right, let me just throw in some viewer comments here. Cycle Camp says if you can't reach your waist/pocket, the ankle is a foregone conclusion. Now, I would say that depends. Again, going to the driving position, again, you have a seatbelt on, you're sitting, you have a seatbelt on, you know, bringing one foot partially up, one hand on the steering wheel and reaching down is not a foregone conclusion because you are already sitting, you're already closer to your ankle.
Okay, wait, this is important. Chris Hill, wherever you are, let me know. Email to Daily Gun Show, and yeah, for sure, if you're going to buy me a beer, I'll show up there.
Just put buy Bob a beer in the subject line so we know who to hand it to.
We'll get a really nice picture of like a scenery in Colorado with some nice rocks, and then instead of being a gun down there, it'll be Bob passed out.
Yeah. And then the background, there'll be a dispensary.
As long as they put a gun channels patch attached to Bob's beard, we'll be good.
All right, so
free beer.
Putting it, so Bob is against the idea of it completely. Dano is it depends, and then Smeggy's a pro. I'm with Smeggy on the pro. So having it on your ankle in a vehicle like Dano keeps saying is way better than trying to get it out of your pocket when you're sitting down. So that would apply anywhere you're sitting down, even in like an office, no?
Yep.
And then the other thing I've noticed, I don't do it, but people that wear fancy pants and go to offices where they're either wearing or not wearing some kind of a shirt, you know, they're tucking in a shirt and then not wearing like a jacket or something, or some kind of coat, windbreaker, then, you know, they're not going to be able to carry on their waist unless they wear one of them ones where it's a tuckable, where it's like inside the waistband and then the shirt comes around and tucks over it, in which case you got to do some complicated draw anyway. Or one of them ones where it drops it way down your pants and it looks like you have a beeper on or something. So drop into your knee, I know can be a pain in the ass, but you can also lift your knee up and stand, you know, like if you're taking.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, in any kind of conflict situation, if you're gonna go for your gun and you've got to bend your head down and reach down,
but it's either that or not carry a gun or put it in your pocket. So yeah, you're on one aspect of it, but like Dan was saying, or Smeggy was saying, even you can get situations where you can't get to a waistband.
And I understand
what about on a motorcycle, Bob? Since you're biker,
that's why I carry a boot knife. But you know, because if we're not close to tussle, that's going to work just as good as a gun.
Bob,
in my opinion, you know, my learned opinion, right?
No way, man. A gun's gonna stop the situation way faster than a knife will. I mean, I agree with you that you could probably get the person if you're within tussling conditions, but you could stab someone a whole bunch of times before they start slowing down.
That's where you stab them, man.
A bunch of times
if you go into the back, no, if you go into the back, right alongside the spine, there's those big arteries. They open right up, and they're done in seconds.
A knife also requires contact distance.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, right? Is like Smeggy was talking. Somebody's on top of you. You know, in what do you say, mount, when somebody's mounted you, and that's why I said, you know, well, we're not talking dating here, Smeggy, but anyway, when somebody's mounted you and they're, you know, and you want to get them off, like I say, a good boot dagger will get them off real quick and end the fight right there. Because you can also go up under the armpit, and that goes right into the heart and stuff.
Somebody's on top of you, I don't think you're going to reach around them and get to your ankle anyway.
Exactly.
Well,
as as it, unless he's already on you, the moment you pull out a knife, and if he's not within contact range, that tells him to immediately shoot you now.
Well, yeah, but we're not talking about, like, you know, we're just talking a backup And I'm saying the only thing I would have as backup in my ankle, on my ankle, would be a boot knife. I would never put a gun down there. Number one, it's heavy and even the lightweight ones are going to be noticeable.
It's actually spoken by someone who's only carrying.
Mess up my boots. It's going to mess up the line of my pants. I mean,
well, that's an issue. If you wear the skinny pants styles, then you're not wearing an ankle holster, right?
Well,
exactly.
I wear pants, but my pants go around my boots, but that's about it.
So there is a disadvantage on the YouTube side. Colt saying they fall out when running. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't run, so that's not a realistic issue for me. I mean, if I had to not fall running down a hill, I guess I could be potentially worried about it, but that is an issue. And I think the other issue that nobody's brought up yet is sure, there's some weight, but not very much. You put an ultralight J-frame. I don't know if Bob ever shot that titanium J-frame I had, but those things, they take pictures of them regularly when they're loaded, hanging up with a couple of helium balloons on and just suspended in the air. They don't weigh very much at all. So that on your ankle, which I'm assuming was made for ankle carry, you forget it's there, and it could be up to a 357 depending on what gun you're talking about. So anyway, the weight of it is, though, it's going to be counterbalanced. You're going to feel it on one side and not the other. So there is the issue that most people I know that actually carry on a regular basis will carry something on their other leg, like backup mag or a tourniquet or first aid or something, to kind of offset that weight.
Well, and in a sense, you could look at it as being a healthy thing in that it's just like people who wear, leg weights, right, in order to cause them to burn more calories.
No, I think seriously, it's a way to get extra stuff on you. It's where it's not in your pockets and making you look like some kind of janitor with stuff hanging off your belt. And you could literally, I know people that carry a tourniquet on the one side, mag if they're wearing an auto, or maybe a speed strip or something, and then the revolver or the auto on the other side.
I still wouldn't do it. I think it's just silly to carry things in your ankle, other than a boot knife.
Well, okay, but your alternative is a shoulder holster, and you walk around without a shirt on all the time. So
no. I'm talking just dual carry, one gun on either hip, right? One just cross draw, one standard draw. That's okay. I mean, that would be my ideal.
One for the left hand.
With the seatbelt, you can't get to either gun.
No, you can get into a cross draw.
Yeah.
One on your left side for your right hand, like an old cowboy style.
Yeah.
They're literally done that way because they were sitting on horses and they could still draw.
Yeah. I mean, you can put a seatbelt. That's not going to restrict your draw at all. Depends on how you.
When I know I'm driving, especially if we're just going out spotting or something, we're just going to be driving up and down roads next to Mexico. That's what we'll usually do, is just throw something cross draw or put something on a shoulder holster cross draw.
Yeah.
Especially if it's revolver.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of shoulder holsters. I've wore them. They're not great. They're if I have them, yeah.
All right. Well, even if you were against it, but you had to do it, Bob, what gun would you carry on your ankle?
Model 36 Smith & Wesson Chief Special.
Dano?
Ruger LCR.
Sneggy?
I don't know. Maybe I'd ask Clay what type of revolver I should get.
I'm surprised you didn't say LCP or something. Whatever Matt tells you to say.
I don't like the LCP. I do like the LC9, but
that's a little big, I think. But I don't know. I haven't actually.
So that's. But no, I think a little revolver is good for backup because, again, right, your primary is going to be used, whatever, 80% of the time, 90% of the time, whatever it is, and so if something goes wrong with it, that's when you're going to a backup. Or if you can't get to it, that's why you go to a backup. So having it be a revolver, I mean, I can appreciate the whole revolver simple stuff, doesn't really break until it is completely broken. You don't have to worry about jams and malfunctions and stuff that often. So
I carried a little J frame for a while like that when I would carry that way, but then after I got I'm pretty sure it's a K and J is the name of the company, like the letter K, the letter N, the letter J, out of Phoenix. They make a bunch of cool stuff, and they made a holster that was sort of like a mouse pad, I guess, with Velcro. So instead of being a big bulky leather and weird contraption, it went around my leg pretty comfortably, and that thing could hold a 26. So whenever I would carry my 35, I would carry a 26 because then I had interchangeability of magazines.
Yeah.
So just
Is
with
that
its
the one that has that polyurethane stretchy kind of material?
and then I would just take the little retention strappy thing out because I never even needed it, and that thing was super comfortable. And it's nice to have a 26 on your, or 27, I guess. On
That's the exact same holster. In fact, I think I got the suggestion from you that I wore prior to falling in love with my carry vest.
Right on. So there you go. And so anyway, that's another option, is carrying a backup to your, or a compatible backup, something that uses interchangeable mags. Or I guess if you're carrying a revolver, something the same caliber.
So yes, I have carried via the ankle. Probably it was maybe 3 months. But I do understand the difficulties in trying to get it while driving. And yes, it's not optimal, but it's when nothing else is available, what's the best of the worst options?
And I think it was Cycle that was saying that we keep neglecting that you do have to lift your pants up or whatever to get to it. But, you know, that's true. But you can also, when you're sitting in your vehicle, you probably have a way you can wiggle around and get your pants to kind of right up on your leg a little bit. Considering, well, I don't know about you guys, but my pants are going to go up anyway when I'm sitting in a vehicle. So it's just usually getting them up a little bit more to get to past where your ankle's at. I guess it depends on if you're wearing boots or shoes. Or kind of
as well as, you know, if you are going to ankle carry and anticipate, you know, if you're at a stop, that's one thing. But if you're actually driving at a low speed, that's something else. And that's something that I'm going to say you need to practice a couple times so that you understand just the basic mechanics of it. You just can't think, oh, that's what I'm going to do while I'm driving.
And it's super discreet to just, if you think like, oh, I'm pulling up to a shady ATM or whatever, or I don't know if this lady needs a ride or what, you're going to pull up and then ask her, and then you're going to pull your pants up, right?
And I think as long as you do everything except pull the gun out, you access the holster, you get a good grip on it while maintaining control of the vehicle, you have practiced 90% of everything you're going to do except pulling it out. Because getting your hand down to the gun and then getting a good grip is the hardest part of it when it's on your ankle. At least for me it was. And then maintaining control.
But you can move your, I mean, if in a car for sure, I guess in a truck too, to some extent, you can move your leg around. So you can.
We're still talking about guns on the ankle, right?
Yeah.
I missed something. Sorry, I got distracted. I missed a little bit of it, and yeah, never mind.
All right. Well, I think we've solved it, and everyone now needs to go out and get an ankle holster. Sorry, but that's what the results were. The good idea, bad idea. Bob will give us his report on what he got, and I guess, should we wait around for Z? It looks like he's farting around in the lobby. He's like, oh, there he goes.
Oh, there.
In the door.
See, every time you say he's farting around, he jumps right in, and he's probably going to be all offended because, you know.
Z, we're in the middle of a bad idea. We're about to wrap it up. Backup gun on the leg. Go.
I wear shorts, so it's going to be tough. But if I wore pants or jeans, yes.
All right.
See, he had a depends answer.
Yep,
Well,
yeah,
it's hard to conceal carry if you're wearing shorts and you're trying to ankle carry, dude.
All the guys over 45 have the depends answer.
No, I'm agreeing with you, Z. I'm not disagreeing.
Oh, okay.
What about?
Yeah, because yes, I mean, I think it's a good idea, honestly. I'm just saying it's tough. That's all. With shorts on, that's all.
Well, I'm gonna be the lone dissenting voice that says it's a dumb idea, I guess.
Technically, that's bad idea, Bob, not dumb idea. Just so you know.
I'll just say bad idea because it's never mind. Yeah, I'm just gonna be the lone dissenting voice of reason.
So being on the islands, couldn't you get away with something like this, Z? And then okay.
What are you talking about? That is me. That's what I look like.
Now you could have a 26 underneath there. Nobody'd even know.
Yeah, but what's the point in carrying a 9mm?
That's a good point. 27.
I'd rather have a.
When he's got a 10mm pec. 10mm.
All right. So I think with that, we'll move on to the next segment of the show, which we already did Minnesota. So I guess we're going to talk about Second Amendment issue recent circuit court decision that AR is not covered by the Second Amendment. Is everybody good?
Yeah, this is like the Fourth Circuit or something like that, and I believe it was the Maryland case that was before it. And basically, yeah, Maryland was trying to get around the assault weapons ban that they had already voted in for themselves, right? And I think this was trying to go up the ladder in order to get that law rescinded as unconstitutional for the state. And I believe they totally shit right on the people on that one, if I remember correctly. It just happened like last month, I think, is when it came forward.
Do you know what state the case is coming from?
Is this microphone on? Can you hear me?
Well, I heard
is it
you say
okay?
Maryland. I didn't know if that was the district case court or if that was where it actually came from.
That's where the case originally started. I don't know necessarily that the seat of the Fourth Circuit is in Maryland. I just know that that's where the original case came from. And I'm inclined to agree with Cycle Camp over on Gun Channels. His opinion of the Fourth Circuit, I concur with.
Oh, I thought you meant windbreaker.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's about that time too.
I don't
wait.
know what you're talking about. Everybody's trying to break my mojo.
Well, I was just checking on the oh, never mind.
But you called for it.
Was there anything else to talk about with that?
Yes, it's time for the tactical pop quiz of the day. So, we have Smeggy. Are you available?
I think so.
Is he asking you on a date, Schmags?
I think he is.
I think so. Okay.
Are you going to play coy or are you going to put out?
Hey.
Let's move on.
Let me know when you guys are done. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
Let's go to this tactical pop quiz.
Okay. I mean, I'm willing to take my time. I'll sit here and wait.
No, go for it. He's just being a dork.
All right. Have you seen the question, and more importantly, have you seen the answer?
I have seen the answer provided.
All right. Outstanding. So those of you on YouTube and those of you over on Gun Channels, put your cursor down in the text box, limber up your fingers. I will read the question twice. So you get two chances to hear me enunciate.
And remember, the answer is what Dano wants, not necessarily the proper answer. And if anybody doesn't like that, suck it up, buttercups, because it's our show.
Absolutely. Okay,
Wow,
so here we go.
Preemptive one.
What training facility did the famous Clint Smith open? What training facility did the famous or infamous Clint Smith open?
And everybody listening has already known this question before, so you should know the answers.
Yeah, I'm expecting this to come in pretty fast. There must be lag, so I'm not seeing any answers yet.
On either side, even.
Yeah, it's like, I thought this would have been automatic.
Gunside is wrong, but Scotty Too Hotty.
Too Hotty?
Yep.
Too Hotty, you are the winner. The answer is Thunder Ranch. So, Too Hotty, you know where to go, but just in case, head on over to dailygunshow.com/pop-quiz. Fill out the form, put your first and second choices for your patches down there, and congratulations, you are today's tactical pop quiz winner.
Well, actually, there's a new picture. Let me grab the new picture real quick.
Nice.
Oh, we have a new picture, so hold on.
Smags, you want this one?
Oh, yes, please. So,
All you, buddy.
Scotty, that makes you today's tactical hot shot.
Good job. Excellent job.
Okay.
I was waiting for the end. Did he?
Yeah.
Both fell down?
I think he passed out.
No, I said it in reverse order. I said you're today's tactical hot shot, so I'm not going to say today's tactical hot shot today.
Now you're changing it all up on your own.
I know. I'm twisting it a little, you know.
Making it his own.
I haven't been on the Daily Gun Show in 5.5 weeks, so
You're a tad bit twisted. We've already noticed that.
So what we did is sent, it was, who was it? Too Hottie?
Too Hottie?
Too Hottie over to our
Too
website,
hotty.
which is Daily Pop Quiz, or excuse me, dailygunshow.com/pop quiz. We've got a patch panel that we take a picture of periodically here, and it's got patches that we either make here in Tucson that we have made for us from our designs, or that we went out and sourced. Some of them our friend Moonfood has made a couple of these. People out on the Instagrams have sent in patches to be to participate on the panel, and then some of them we bought. And pick out one that you like when you're a winner, and there's a form down below here that you can fill out and let us know where to send it. And it's our way of saying thanks to the people that watch us live, and we appreciate it.
Welcome to tacticalpatchpanels.com.
And I think that
Okay, I thought it was funny. Apparently nobody else did, but
it's okay.
because I thought I heard yesterday when I was on the road and just out there listening, somebody say something similar to what I typically say when I screw it up.
Daily Gun Channels.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just have to go buy that domain name. It's easy enough, and then just forward it over. All right, so I think we want to let people know that we do have our logo gear. We might be out of actual muslin like patches, but we do have the shirts out there and coffee mugs. So if you're the type that drinks things out of a coffee cup, then we do have coffee mugs for you. I will make sure that there's good links on the website, but otherwise you could head over to our Spreadshirt. I'll put a link up for that. We basically, the show gets $3 every time you buy one of those things. So I think they're about $15 for the shirt, maybe under 20 for the cup, if I remember right, for the mug. And I think we get $3 from it. So we do appreciate that. It helps to pay for some of that hosting for the iTunes that nobody comments on. And more importantly, thanks. More importantly, it pays for the shipping. So we send the patches out. We're not going to like get nickel and dime about the patches or nothing, but the shipping does cost us something every single week. So people that are supporting us, like over on Patreon or by buying our logos, we do appreciate it. It helps keep the show going. And if we can ever start to accumulate some money, we'll be adding some things on and doing some little upgrades here and there to the show.
So what website do they go to pick up that shirt that Smeggy's displaying right now?
Just our website, dailygunshow.com, and we'll have links over there for you.
Excellent.
And just to note, anyone going to the NRA show in a week or so, whenever the heck it is, I will be wearing this shirt one of the days. So if you see this shirt, come talk to me and say, hey, cool Daily Gun Show shirt. And then I will totally name drop, be like, oh, you listen to it? I'm Smeggy. And then you can love and adore me.
Right
They
on.
better walk up with the chairs against the wall and John has a long mustache or they're going to get... Anyway, never mind. You better come across with the right words.
So let's move on to... Oh, lost my snap schedule. Let's move on to...
Let me take this moment, just a moment here, and I want to ask any of those that are out there listening to the Daily Gun Show on YouTube to please take a moment and subscribe. It would help us out greatly as we increase those numbers. So if you could, please take that moment and subscribe to Daily Gun Show. So thank you very much on YouTube. And now back to the show. I know we got more show. I know it's not over.
Yeah. I don't know if you was doing something real quick or something.
Yeah, I walked away. All right. So we were going to get into the gun shop of the day. Bullseye Guns and Pawn in Sevierville, Tennessee. You guys remember this one? We talked about it before when you sent it in, I think.
Is that the one that was it Clay or Squib?
No, it was Squib. I'm looking for it here. Let's see, Bullseye. Here we go. He sent it in because we've when we started doing the show, we did it with one of the goals to do it daily is to talk about different, unique, and interesting gun shops out there. Since it's not possible to get to every one of them ourselves, we've got audience out there who is welcome to participate. So we're opening up an email here from Squib that has some pictures of Bullseye Gun and Pawn, and you can see it's out in the middle of some room, which is kind of cool. I wonder if this is that's not enough for a berm, so it's probably just parking or something back there. Looks like a standalone place. I wonder if this little thing is part of it, that big building back there. Plenty of parking though. Looks like they got a.
Yeah, I like that.
Anybody got an idea how far away that is from Camden?
No, I don't have the address here up on the screen. I like this kind of stuff though, being able to poke around, look around at that stuff. These bins, just find the.
It's almost like a workbench, yeah. I mean, I know it's not. It's a display and everything like that, but sometimes that's what I feel like my workbench looks like.
Well, it does look like they got some papers and stuff, but that might be forms or like, you know, alerts from different stuff or things like that.
So they might have let him go back behind the thing. I don't know how well he knows the people or whatever.
Oh, here's the counter. Looks like he's reaching over and that dog's keeping a good eye on him.
See how his ears are starting to fall back? That dog is definitely paying attention to that person taking the picture.
You know, you would almost think that it's a federal requirement to have a dog at a gun store.
Should be.
Well, now wait a minute. We're not one to have extra extraneous laws. Now, let's just say that every gun shop should have a dog, but let's not make it federally required, okay?
Well, I'm just saying
I
because
think
it
everything
crosses-
everywhere should have a dog.
because it crosses almost all state borders that most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, if you go to a private gun store rather than a big box gun store, you're going to see a dog. Just like you're probably likely to see a coffee pot. Not always, but most of the time.
All right. Well, let's say that we don't let dogs in there. We don't mandate dogs in gun shops. Any Terminator can come back from any point in the future to anywhere and then just take guns that they want. Now, if there's a dog there, it's going to bark and alert the owners that the Terminator just
In the
walked.
immortal words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, wrong. You can still have a dog. You're just not having a law requiring it, man. Come on.
I'm saying because the Terminators, I would be down for a law that says you have to have a dog in a gun shop.
I'm saying because of the consistency, you might think. I didn't say there should be. I just said you might think.
Well, I said
There's a difference. Words matter.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick a fight with the guy that thinks we have too many laws, but yet wants to make another law, let alone not even a state law. He wants a federal law, which I know he hates.
Let's all start talking about how long this barrel lives on this fucking shotgun. What the hell is the length of this barrel going on here?
Actually, you know the one with the dog pick. Actually, G, look at all. Like it's all like when the one with the dog looking down. Yeah, it's all hunting and shotgun right there. So I'm glad that you showed the next pick because it shows the other end is all black rifles, ready for
What is
action.
going on with this barrel?
I think it's ridiculously long. If you want to know how long it is, it's ridiculously long.
It's probably like a 32-inch barrel, maybe.
32? Hell no, that's like 48 inches long. That's way longer.
Come on.
Well, overall
I mean-
length is.
No. We're just talking that barrel. I see what he's looking at there.
20
That's
barrel.
got to be a goose gun or something, huh?
This is
My
cheap.
870 Remington Magnum has got to be. It's I think I measured and it's over a 34-inch barrel, and that's a goose gun. That's
This is
Right.
34. Anyway, this is cheap. This is for going up to a bird up in a tree, and when it's still sleeping, and just shooting it right up,
No, that's for getting them while they're migrating.
way up
Up in the sky. Way up in the sky.
That's crazy long though. I don't know if that's a novelty gun or if that's
Dude, that is the Big Bertha rail gun of shotguns right there. That's what's going on right there.
You're shooting the quail or the partridge out of the tree, you just use a 22 and you start with the bottom one and you just shoot all the way up. You get them all. As long as they don't see anybody falling past them, they'll just sit there. They're
Bacon
dumb.
wrapped partridge, bacon wrapped grouse.
Not bacon wrapped anything, really.
Well, there you go. I like that.
and the guns.
Some revolvers. I
Look
like
at
it.
everything.
Yeah.
That looks like a used gun counter.
So it's in.
So do you think that's Sevierville?
That'd be your. I think he says in the email. I'll do this off screen so you don't see his email address. Hopefully, pronounced Sevierville. I think that's
Okay. Yeah.
Severe. How do you say severe? Severe is severe.
Yep.
Yeah, Sevierville. All right. Well,
Nice.
thanks to dang it, did we say did that Squib? Thanks to Squib for for posting or for sending in some pictures. I'm sure that he just asked people if it was okay to take a couple of pictures. He now shared it with us. We'll put it in a link out there, and there'll be another place on the internet, our YouTube video, plus our website, plus iTunes, plus maybe even Facebook, and how we post it, maybe even on Patreon. There's always those chances if somebody shares it, that's even more links to it, and that's just something you can do to help out your gun shop. It keeps the show interesting and encourages other people to do the same. And that's really one of the reasons we do the show on the weekly or on the daily every weekday, is so that we have an opportunity to do, what is that, 200 of those a year. So help us out. You can email the pictures into dailygunshow@gmail.com, or better yet, post those pictures on Instagram, and we'll link to those pictures, so we're even amplifying it even more.
And if you do post those pictures on Instagram, be sure to hashtag Daily Gun Show.
Are we gonna get into that right now? It's kind of
I
next up.
can't do a better
We
time.
can, or we can wait till after some of the other stuff. Either way.
Well, we're pretty much done with the other stuff. We don't fart around when you're in Jersey.
Did you do the gun movie and the gun of the day? And
Well, maybe those things.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it.
fine.
Peer
Let's
pressure.
rock and roll. Both kinds.
Is there a theme song for it yet?
Gentlemen.
I don't have one, but I don't know how Smaggy's feeling.
Daily Gun Show. Do 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 do.
Showdown.
Hashtag.
We need a Mikey. Mikey
Okay.
O'Brien thing.
But anyways, yeah. So we are looking at the hashtag Daily Gun Show over on the Instagrams. Oh
Yep,
man, looks
yep.
like a lot of more people have been using that hashtag. Good job, guys.
A few more. I checked it earlier today. There's definitely a little bit of. Let's scroll down to recent, right?
Any ladies wearing our T-shirts? That's the important thing.
This dog has our logo on its nose.
Well, I like the one from Jimmy J. Let's start at the beginning. Come on now.
Like this?
No,
Down here?
start at the beginning of the most recent. Yeah, which would be the Daily Gun Show one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. All right, and we can go over it. Live show each weekday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Listen on gunchannels.com, iTunes, and YouTube. There you go.
Yep, yeah, we appreciate the promotion from different peoples. I saw that was just a repost from probably one of our posts before. I don't know if it was from gun websites repost, but yeah, that's cool. Get it linked out there, get it shared, repost that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, more people see it, the better.
So we'll do the same as last week. We'll roll through all of them, and then we'll vote, and then we'll
I
decide.
think so. Yeah, then we'll fight it out.
Okay.
So
I
I like Jimmy James. I have to say, or
got to pass on voting because I do not have the bandwidth to see anything. So I'm sorry, but yeah.
Okay, Bob.
you'd pick
Yeah.
wrong anyways.
Ignorance of the topic has never stopped you before from trying to.
Yeah, but no, I just really don't feel it's fair if I haven't been able to see
This
it.
is definitely a visual medium this particular time.
Yeah.
So anyway, Bob, it is a no trespassing sign that does say violators will be shot and survivors will be shot again. And then it's got a revolver, and I can't quite tell if that's a Taurus or if that's his raging or
Yeah,
what that
I think
is.
that's his raging attorney.
That's his Taurus. Raging attorney. Yeah, that's Jimmy Taurus.
So I have to
Yeah.
say, I mean, I like Jimmy. He does a good job over there at Early Watch Monday, Wednesday, Friday during the day. I think they start 10 o'clock Eastern, whatever. But I personally don't like this sign. I don't like this kind of humor, like, we're going to shoot you, and if you survive, I'm shooting you again, you bastard, and all that, just different stuff. I don't call
Well, he didn't say he
911.
was
I
going to
just shoot
drag you into
people.
the
Like,
house. Right, I hear you.
personally don't like that kind of stuff. I mean, whatever, it is what it is, but
The message.
So you're saying you don't find you don't enjoy humor.
No, I don't. I don't like humor about
The threat of shooting somebody?
Self-defense. Yeah, self-defense type stuff where it's like, yeah, I just shoot people, screw you. Or like all these, I don't fire warning shots, I'm going to kill you anyways. Like, I don't like it. You know, whatever.
So was it
my personal
only
preference?
5 shots or was it 6?
What?
So how do you go to a movie and enjoy any sort of gunplay scene? Well, that's not realistic.
That's not what he's saying,
it has
Dano.
nothing to do with that. I'm talking about, I'm talking about when they do some type of humor thing that's implying that, you know, self-defense type stuff can be really taken lightly, and that, you know, I just shoot anyone who comes into my house or whatever. Like, I think it's a bad light. It's like the whole smile, wait for the muzzle flash or whatever.
That's,
like, I don't like that. I just personally,
well,
I don't find it that funny.
Like that, but it's clearly presented to be humorous, not to be serious. I can tell the difference.
It's
like,
not
like because of the cost of ammunition, there will be no warning shot, right?
Exactly, that kind of stuff.
It's not that Smeggy can't appreciate that it is humor. He doesn't appreciate the humor.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm not dumb. I don't think they actually mean it. I just don't. I don't think it.
No,
well, they don't hand out, do they?
Poor Jimmy had no idea what he was walking himself into on that.
No kidding.
Good idea, bad idea. Jokes like that.
I personally agree with Smeggy more than anything. So
I hear you.
This one's a winner, right? Do we even have to go any further? This one's got a dog in it, and the dog's got our logo.
I do gotta admit, because he also has the alternative muzzle and mic. That's not a regular one. So he's obviously had to do something special in the past to earn one of those.
No, anybody can just buy one of those. We don't have.
Oh, I didn't think they came that color.
And now we sell them both colors.
Oh, just any old kind way then. Okay.
Now, usually at the end of this trick, the owner will give the signal, meaning that the dog will then flip whatever's on its nose up in the air and then snatch it. Or if the dog would accidentally grab the patch instead.
No, with this trick, the dog draws and shoots on you.
Ah.
So yeah, this definitely
after he makes a witty anecdote.
Just glancing at the other ones, this one's a front runner for me, but I'd like to see some of the other ones before I make a final vote. Oh man, Chris, I gotta say, he took my critique of his picture from last time, and he has the good patch panel wall showing. Straight to the camera. Gun channels, every second matters, mini revolver.
Should get a participation award on some level. Because Chris is out there posting stuff all the time, and he does try and add that Daily Gun Show hashtag out there a lot.
We should probably hurry up and do that before he meets Bob, and then he never listens to the show again.
Hey, everybody likes me when they meet me.
Chris, you're not a bad person if you don't show up, just so you know. Okay, Chris?
Going to the next one?
Oh.
Yes, please.
So I really like that one too, though.
See, this is where I figure we'll see like this same shot, except Bob like drunk down here.
I'm voting for Chris. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, he has several entries.
You know what I like about this picture is it looks a lot like Partisan Rock could be around here somewhere. Another one. Chris is just going to win it out of numbers.
Yeah, I think.
Well, last time it divided the vote, if you remember.
Anytime they got pictures that look like Partisan Rock, that means we could maybe find it and get my dog in front of it. I'm good for it.
Hold on. What am I looking at here?
Dano, he put a bunch of confetti down because he had this situation.
But what is it?
It's a 7.62 by 39 chamber with a 223 jammed into it, and then somebody shot it off, and it dispersed a bunch of the brass from the primer all around.
More information on the next picture.
Dano likes glitter and confetti. You didn't know that?
So this is what it looks like when a little narrow 223 gopher round gets put into a 30 cal chamber. Yeah.
It was a proof of concept.
What was the concept?
Don't load your 223 steel ammo in your AK.
Why would that even ever be in doubt? Why? Anyway.
No, it wasn't in doubt. It was an accident.
Clearly. Definitely, I like this one. I always like the one with the shadow in the background. Always looks good. Chris just killing it on Instagram.
Uh-oh. Big bore.
Ooh. Ooh. Always a big fan of the wheel gun.
Huh, there's no hashtag big bore in here, though. Interesting.
Well, because what is that?
It says it's a 38. That's not big bore.
Right.
Okay.
It is pretty, though.
The one from Chris?
Russian water in the background there. Almost like it's in the Bavarian Alps, almost. Just like it's in Austria. Almost.
Let's not ding him for something like that. You can't help it.
And then our good man Pink.
Didn't we have something like this last week on a fence?
I don't know.
Well, there's always stuff on a fence. That's the thing.
Pink has a very photogenic fence, and Chris has very photogenic scenery.
Okay.
Well, one lives in Colorado, I think, and the other lives in Ohio. So
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't want to see a gun sitting in a cornfield. That'd be boring.
Colorado
Ohio.
has the most beautiful scenery in the world. I've been through there, I don't know, 4 or 5 times now, and it's like it's hard to concentrate on driving.
Yeah, that's why.
yeah, that's for another reason, though, Bob.
So
Because you're in Colorado.
this one is a repost from Marco of Frylocks. So look at the numbers on that one. Some of these other ones are, standard, normal, 71, 81, 89.
Well, wait a minute. A repost, I don't know the counts because it's not the original, right?
No, but I'm saying on Marco's 4,000.
Oh, yeah. No, Marco will get you some juice.
Yeah.
If you need some juice and some boost, Marco's got it. I do not debate that.
Including the hashtag gun channels as well. And then Marco might see what you're doing and post on it.
He'd be a cool guy if he didn't wear them silly shoes he always wears. I don't know.
So what's the difference?
What, like on his feet? You mean like to wear around? I mean, I know, Bob. Who wears shoes on their feet?
No, he's obsessed with all them Nikes, and I got the number 5s, and
I
the
know.
15s are better than the 22s, or whatever. It's like
Some
like
of my
listening to
favorite
Glock
Marco
people.
videos are of the shoe room, not shoe closet, shoe room.
Yes, I know. Like just put boots on your feet and be a man.
Do you have a question, Dano?
Nope.
Hornzies, Kate, flip flops.
Now, what do we got going on here? What happened to this XD?
I think it's just a special effect.
Yeah, some type of filter or something. But I really like that. I mean, that's a kind of a cool color. Makes it look like it's glowing or something.
Kind of an aqua green.
I thought it was a blue gun, but there's too much detail. I think it's an edited picture of a real gun.
Yeah, it looks like some type of blue filter thing.
Hey, who did that one? What's the name on there?
Mike, again, he's been reposting some stuff, and this, I believe, is one of his where he posted it just to tell people to watch our daily show and gun channels. So,
See, that's awesome.
well, actually, specifically to watch the daily gun show on gun channels and YouTube. So, yeah, basically our second
Thanks, Mike.
get out there. Another one.
Oh, my.
Frylock.
Is that an SLR FR1? What is it? SLR 107 FR?
Probably.
With a waffle mag and a bayonet on it?
Mm-hmm.
All the accoutrements.
Mm-hmm. But that's a repost, right?
Yep, over on Marcos.
Yeah, but we're counting that for Frylock.
This one came
Well,
in.
I think that's the one that won last. I think Frylock won last week with that one.
Oh, really? Okay, because I was saying, I'm pretty sure Chris had this one last week.
Yeah, because then there's this
yes.
one, which I know was from last week.
So we have done, and that is the one that won last week.
Oh, you know what? You see this little patch down here? I got immediately a text from Marco going, he wants one of them. So if you want to lord it over him that you got one and he ain't got one, then he still ain't got one because I ain't have no time to make one.
So I should take that with me and then just make fun of him about it the whole time?
Lord it over him that you got one, yeah.
All right, thanks for the heads up. I mentioned earlier, I will be at NRA. I'm going to be wearing that shirt. I'll probably wear one of the days like a gun channel shirt, every second matter, something like that. I'm going to try and support maybe my Poco Ghibli. I'm going to be supporting gun channels the whole time. So if you see stuff like that, come up, talk to me, and I'm going to have patches and stickers and stuff with me. So I might hook you up if you're a cool person. And
But
I might,
no,
if you're a dork, I might just say, "Oh, sorry, I'm all out," and I'm probably just lying to you because I don't like you. I don't have tons of extra, so honestly, I could run out because I collect the stuff myself. But if I have doubles, I'm gonna bring my.
Some of the other boys that are going, they got stuff for that, don't they? Like,
oh, there's definitely gonna be the gun channels patches there, pink, glow in the dark, and whatever that other orange was. It the other color.
Mm-hmm.
Those will definitely be there. Marco and Pink Panther will have tons of those. So they might let me have a couple that I can hand out also. But anyways, so now that we've gone back, my vote's either between this one here from Chris with all the cool patch in the background or the dog from Matt. It's hard for me to say.
I'm voting on the dog because it's a dog and it's our logo.
At first I thought I wasn't sure, and then the second time through I said, okay, I know exactly what I'm voting for, the dog.
What do you think, Z?
Z? Bob?
Before I vote, Cave Dave said he didn't see his post, but Cave Dave over there on YouTube, when did you post it, and what did you post it under? These are not they're not necessarily hashtag gun channels. It's only hashtag Daily Gun Show.
Did he post it under Daily Gun Channels?
Right. Well, he there might be a little bit of a lag, so I'm going to see if he responds or not.
Yeah, no,
my vote will be for the dog unless Dave basically has something supremely cool.
I'm going to go for Chris just because he said he'd buy me a beer. Because, well, I'm pretty.
Well, Chris had like 4.
It's nice to know that this is a fair and unbiased panel.
Oh, he did a speech.
It really is. I mean, you can buy me off for a beer, man.
That's. I haven't upped it because I follow Cave Dave because I don't know, he liked a bunch of my stuff, but he did hashtag daily and then space gun space show. So when you put space in a hashtag, it ignores those other words. You have to just type in hashtag daily gun show as all one big word.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a AK leaning up against a tree and a what do you call it? Like a vest, and it's got a gun channels patch on it.
Now,
Nice.
do you
Cool
have
picture.
to put a space between your various hashtags, like hashtag Daily Gun Show, hashtag Gun Channels, hashtag something else?
Yeah, because otherwise it would all be. Then
One
it would all
time.
go under the first one.
Or a comma or a period. Anything that it can't include as part of the hashtag, any character will break the hashtag. So a space or a period or a comma, quote, anything like that. Usually, but a space is your best bet. So
next time, Cave Dave, or even you could edit some of your pictures and just use, just go in there and delete those spaces, and then it will add it to the list in the hashtag.
Yes.
So he's got some cool pictures. I like Cave Dave.
Yep, definitely some good ones. Except for in this
He's
picture.
definitely been helping out around gun channels and over on YouTube a lot lately.
Hold on, since we're narrowcast into Cave Dave, you got your grip backwards in this picture, so get that, flip that grip around.
It curves up, not down. Think of it as a male thing.
Well, it curves forward, not back.
Yeah, I mean, he's got it together in this one, but at first I was like, oh shit, he's got the backwards one. But that's not.
Going limp.
All right, so that was did we just pick a winner?
Yeah, because
Well, there were more votes for the dog than anything else.
I'll vote for dog for an almost clean sweep. So dog picture wins.
Yep.
So,
And by the way, Bob, who won't go anywhere without his dog, is the one who didn't vote for the dog.
Well, yeah, because I got
well,
to.
he didn't vote against the dog.
Everywhere.
He voted not so much against a dog, but for a free beer.
Which, as a Canadian, I can understand where his head was at.
That's true,
So that was Matt G. So he knows where the forum is. Is he out there right now?
Let's see, Matt G.
So
Yes, I believe he is. I believe he's on the gun channel side.
So there we go. And then you can grab a patch off of there. And we're not counting these as the wins on the, what do you call it?
No, this is only for the hashtag Showdown. That's pretty much all this is. just a little something to appreciate the Instagram users out there that are helping to try and spread the word about Daily Gun Show.
We never said anything about there's not some kind of competition between the people who have won the showdown, though.
Oh yeah, no. Well, and we've only now had 2, so.
And we've never said it's not a possibility that those people would not be in the running for exclusive awesomeness.
Absolutely.
That brings a question I have.
Webs is too cheap to ship it to you, so.
Are we,
Whoa.
is somehow through our notes or something tracking the winners as we go forward?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
someday we might be able to do a review of here's the last, 3 months worth of winners.
Yes, they're using the same form as the winners of the daily pop quiz and the tactical quiz, so we're just have them in there.
And they just put in the comment like the hashtag showdown or something so that we know who they are.
Exactly.
Yes.
Preferably the date, or I'm sure that's on there.
Yeah, it's all good to go. We haven't had any issues with it. So yeah, we're keeping track. And like I say, we've never said there's not going to be some sort of special stuff for just the people that win the hashtag showdown. So if you want to win the hashtag showdown, seems like there's pretty low competition right now. A couple of people that are putting out good pictures, but very few people. So if you're interested, you might want to participate. Didn't know.
And definitely want to say thanks to everybody that does. Whether you're participating in the hashtag showdown, you're participating in the tactical pop quiz, you're participating by sending in gun shops, topics, movies, guns of the day, whatever it happens to be, we definitely appreciate all that it is that our audience does for us and with us, for sure.
Especially the tactical pop quiz questions with answers that are referenced. Thank you.
Trying to make your job easier, aren't you, Dano? Good.
Very much so. Well, the easier my job is, the longer this gig will keep on going.
All right.
Mr. Fry, I am not sure on the answer to your question, but we will find out.
Oh, but it gets shipped about once a week or so.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
All right. So then that'll take us back from this to the movie of the day.
The one that Bob was in?
Oh, yeah.
So every day we try to talk about a gun-related movie, one that you might not have seen in a while, or if you're a youngin', one you ain't seen yet. And today is Tough Guys. We started talking about them earlier in the week, so everybody had a chance to go watch it. I tried to go watch it. I couldn't find it. Does anybody else find it?
No. I hadn't seen it around since video or, VCRs.
Yeah, you could find it on YouTube. I found it on YouTube, but I'd already seen it.
Oh, really? Dang, I didn't think about YouTube. I need to remember about YouTube more. It seems like
they have.
They don't have them, or like they'll have them, but they've been blocked or whatever. And then I quit using YouTube and I forget about it. But I should probably try it more often when I can't find stuff.
Well, and what? They were in prison for like one of the last great train robberies, right?
They spent.
And then they get out.
Yeah. And one guy.
It's Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, one guy's
MF and Spartacus is out of prison. In the 80s, by the way. This then also takes place in the 80s.
Yeah, actually
80s hair, 80s fashion, 80s music.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers were actually in the movie.
I believe they were.
As actors, you mean?
No, like I think they were playing at the club, I think.
So I don't know. I think we're
been a while since I've seen it, though.
Pictures. But yeah, they get out of jail right at the beginning of the movie, right? And then they figure out we're going to still be...
Well, their probate or parole officer talks to them, like, I don't want any trouble, and you guys are old, and we got a job. Like, either they had a job for them or they were going to set them up going to the old folks' home or something like that. And, like, Bert and Kirk, they ain't having it. And then there's definitely reasons you don't mess with old tough guys. Basically,
I think it was Kirk.
Mad.
Kirk Douglas had a job as a dishwasher in some restaurant, and Burt Lancaster, because he was too old, he was 72 or something, so they were sending him right to a retirement home, where like they wouldn't feed him, and it was just horrible. So they got treated like shit, and these guys were still tough guys. And they didn't
Hence
take
the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Look at this movie poster. It says it's from England. So this guy's got an M16 with some kind of weird end on it, and then this guy's got an Uzi. I don't remember him having full autos in that movie. I guess they must have.
I don't remember where they got him from. Might have to watch that one again.
Yeah, Bob said it's on YouTube, so if anybody wants to check it out. I don't remember it being all that good, and I don't remember it being bad necessarily. It was one of those movies.
I just remember it was fish out of water. If you want to think about it, you got there's Eli Wallach. There's Tuco with the Coke bottles.
Yep.
Because Tuco, his name wasn't Tuco in the movie.
Oh yeah,
but because the contract, yeah. So like,
is he ugly or bad? He was ugly.
What do you? Yeah, ugly. Yeah, Eli Wallach, and he plays a great role. Like, I take a contract. I always, I'm a man of my word. And like, there's a good little monologue that he gets and stuff like that. But it's funny in parts. There's a little bit of action in it, and mostly what you get to see is some old dudes knocking out some young dudes. Lots of kicking in the nuts, if I remember as well. Nice. Sean on YouTube's like, I must have watched that 50 times when I was a kid. Yes. That was another one that was like on HBO. So when it was on rotation, you watched it 30 times. Easy.
Yep. Yeah, it was, but I mean, it was such a good movie. It really was. You got to see these guys who had a sense of honor, even though they were criminals, and they just wouldn't take shit from nobody. I mean, they were in a bank trying to cash their checks they'd got from the prison, and some guys tried to rob the bank, and they just kicked their asses, right? Like the one guy fainted because the other guy was, I think it was Kirk Douglas was saying, "Oh, you don't want to shoot him in the head; it's going to mess up your suit." And no, I'm going to shoot him. It was really a good.
So Bob liked this movie because he can live out his fantasy that old people can still do stuff.
Well, think about it, Smegs. Bob was already old in the 80s when this movie came out. So, like, he was already living vicariously through these two guys.
Hey, I like, what do you call it? Crap. Can't
Are old? Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
But I'm with Bob. I like the movie. I definitely think it's a movie worth watching. Now it is going to be a little dated because it did take place in the 80s, where it's not really the period piece that it would have been if it took place like in the 50s or the 40s, so.
Well, wasn't that kind of definitely the whole point of it, though? Is that
no, exactly, and that was where some of the comedy
came
in
back in the day, and yet now they're trying to cope with like, oh, the 80s, and people are being weird. That's not what.
Well, one of the best things is like Burt Lancaster, because they're both ladies' men, right? So Burt kind of cruises the home, and ends up picking up the hot lady that's there. Kirk, he's out there working with ladies that are like 20 and 30 years younger than him. Like so it's just there's a lot of funny stuff happening in this movie, and then not a whole lot of serious, to be honest with you. You got to remember it was the 80s.
So I think that's one of the aspects of it, right? Is that they came out of the jail or prison or whatever, like after many, many decades in jail, right? So they were like, oh, cell phones, like, oh, women drivers, right? That was part of the.
Yeah. Like if you think about it, they went around World War II or something like that, and they got out like 50 years later or 40 years later.
I think that was part of it. I remember it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by all the foreign things that I'm seeing on Google here as I'm looking through the image search. All the foreign covers have the guy holding an M16 with a funny looking end and a Uzi. So it makes me think there's a bunch of gunplay in it. They keep showing the guy from Good, Bad, Ugly with the double barrel shotgun. So
yes, that was.
I'm gonna have to give it one.
I'm sorry, I can't remember what that dude. It's an Italian name, of course, and I just can't remember what it is. But he's some serious comic relief in this movie.
So I'm gonna give it one.
The whole movie, he's trying to kill them because he took a contract out on them 30 years before. They'd spent 30 years in the pen.
Oh, okay. Is that what it was? So he's just trying to fulfill his contract that's 3 decades long.
Exactly.
Yep.
So even though it's dated, and I don't even know really that it'll hold up, so to speak, to today, but it's definitely worth watching. I'll give it a thumb up for each, Bert and Kirk. It's 2 thumbs up. Those are 2 tough guys, just like the title says.
Well, yeah, one of the things was Burt Reynolds had a quadruple bypass like 3 months before the film started.
Lancaster, you mean?
Burt Lancaster, sorry, had a quadruple bypass like 3 months before the movie started, and literally, like, I mean, they had to rate his, because he was starting to lose his memory because he was in his 80s. They had to write really big cards with his lines on it and stuff and hold them up. It was quite amazing they managed to do that movie, and they'd done several other movies together, like Spartacus, a couple others.
I don't think Bert was in Spartacus, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe not Spartacus, but they'd done several other movies together, so you know, it was really interesting to read about the movie, and then, you know, remembering having watched it many, many, many times as a kid and just enjoyed the hell out of it when I was a kid. But
you know, how many thumbs you give it, Bob, and what kind of weird adjective you're going to use?
Kiss my ass, Miggy.
Well, now that isn't a thumb.
I am going to give it 2 solid thumbs up. Firm and solid.
Ooh, 2 weird adjectives.
Yes.
I wonder if one of them's firm and one of them's solid, or if they're both.
Well, which one is he giving the firm one to, and which one's he giving the solid? Wait, never mind. I don't want to know.
As I pondered, I thought, why am I pondering this? Let's move on.
Exactly. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Seen it?
You ever watched Spartacus?
Or wait, I thought we were talking about tough guys.
Yeah, we were. I'm just talking about other movies that, you know, Kirk Douglas.
Other movies you like. All right.
Yeah, we're doing something, but I'm totally just talking about something different, you know, because reasons.
All right. So I'm going to suggest we get to the gun of the day. I'm assuming Bob picked this one. Bob picked this one.
He doesn't remember.
Yes.
He needs a big cue card.
At the West End. Chief Special. 5-shot, 38 special. Tiny little revolver. Beautiful little gun. Now, if I was going to wear something, an ankle holster, that would probably be what I would choose.
He picked
Doesn't
this
weigh much.
Carry specifically.
Yeah, it's a really neat little gun. I've shot a bunch of them, different from different years and stuff, and I love them. I think they're just they got a beautiful trigger on them. They're just a really neat little gun to shoot.
Whether you get the snubby or the 3-inch, it's still going to be fun to shoot.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to shoot
up there.
in them a lot, but I mean, if you want to shoot regular 38 specials, put plus P's in for your defensive rounds. The gun will handle it. It's just, I like it, and you're not going to like shooting it with plus P's in it. But in a
I don't know if
situation,
P's in an old Colt not rated for plus P's. It's not like it's not rated, or like they didn't get around to it. They ran out of engraving time. I think they didn't. That it didn't exist when they were making this metal, right?
No,
that could be.
But it doesn't matter. The gun is built to such a fine standard. They built today, which is
it can still be a fine gun, but it can still blow up on you if you overpressure it. If it had been built to handle 357s, Bob, then those 38 plus P's should be no problem.
Well, if it's built to handle 38s, then 38 plus P's won't be a handle. You got an LCR that's built to handle 38 specials. It'll handle plus P's with no problem. This gun was built the same way, and
LCR was built 40 years later.
I'm going to put it out there to the dozens and dozens of people that are listening. Would you shoot 38 plus P's in an old Colt Model 36?
That's a Smith, by the way. But anyway.
Sorry, Smith. What is this? You're calling it a Chief Special?
Yes.
Yeah.
was I thinking
That's a
Colt?
good question.
I would definitely not in a Smith. No.
Colt would be a detective special. 6 round.
So this has 6
I'm-
instead of 5. That's why it's all a chief.
Could be. We got 1 vote for no. Actually, a very big no. And I'm inclined to agree with them.
Cowards. I don't have a
Howard.
problem. You know what? They built those arms with slide rules, just like they built the B-52, which is still flying at almost 80 years old. And you know what? Even the modern, like the modern aircraft are wearing out because they were built with computers, which built them to just that. Okay, we want it has to last this many years. That's exactly how many will lose. The B-52
Is Bob
is
having a
built
stroke right now? Is Bob actually stroking out on here?
I
No,
just
he's
believe
just
the
raging.
older stuff is built better because it's built by men using slide rules, not computers.
Well,
Well,
all
not
right.
here. We got
I mean,
angry
I will
American out
agree
there
with
made
you
a valid
back in
point.
the
He said,
day,
"I would not without consulting Smith and Wesson."
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot plus P either. But I will agree with you that back in the day, because math was tricky, they just made a safety factor of like 10. They're like, well, this is probably big enough. Yeah, fuck it, we'll make it even bigger. So I will agree that was their mentality, but that
Well-
doesn't mean that they like engineered it to handle the plus P ammo. And even if they did, if it would handle it back in the day, if it's old enough now, like who knows how much wear and tear has gone through it, and now you're going to stress it even more. It just doesn't seem like a good idea, and for not very much benefit. So I wouldn't do it.
For only loss, there's only potential loss.
Exactly. There is no gain to be had. Again, I reiterate, if it would have been, a Model 66 or something like that, where it was 357 style, sure, right? If it was that old, it should be no problem because it was built to be beefier, handle more pressure, all of that stuff. So, but here's the other thing: I'm not saying don't get that gun. I bet you that gun is fun to shoot. You shoot 38s all day, all day. I don't know if anybody out there listening to me right now knows what I'm talking about, but 38s are. I like shooting 38s more than 22s. Just saying. I might be alone in that, but especially since 38 specials are definitely more expensive than 22s.
That's all right.
Nice. Angry Americans out there. Why shoot plus P's out of it? Just resort to the boot knife. I love it. I love it. See, we do have one of the best audiences out there.
If they're close, then hey, 21-foot rule, man.
Bob's deadly within 21 feet. That's the rule.
I still
got
just
my-
I still
Oh,
just
okay.
don't get it.
Hey,
I don't understand.
We
Bob
still had
on that.
one more vote for no, by the way.
I got the knife that Huck built me. Hell yeah.
All right. So that was the gun of the day and a little bit of interesting insight.
Yeah.
Interesting something.
Yep.
All right. So do we have anything else? I think we might be wrapping it up. I know we actually might not eat into both Tuesday night shows. We should, of course, always mention that we put this show right on top of Andalusia Armory, who was broadcasting it on gun channels right when we were. So if you want, listen to Hit or Miss, which will be coming up next.
Hit or Miss Tuesdays 9 o'clock.
And then listen to Big Gunner, and then go back and listen to Andalusia Armory, and you'll be pleasantly surprised that you got, 5-6 hours worth of live shows, pretty much scheduled or formatted. So it'll be interesting discussion. And I guess that also tells you what's coming up next. Hit or Miss, 9 p.m. Tuesday nights. And we don't know what time. We should probably find out from the list what time Big Gunner actually starts. But he comes on about it after you guys.
Yeah, I think it's 10. He might
Like
do
10 or
9:30,
something?
but it's somewhere around that time. It's after we start, but sometimes we overlap with them.
I think you guys overlapped every once in a while. Otherwise, then Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Jimmy James does the early watch over on Gun Channel. So we encourage you to listen to that if you enjoy listening to people have just regular conversations that wander with news or with people coming in and asking questions in the text chat. Then listen to that early watch show. He does format it to some extent, so there's things to do when there's downtime, but it also kind of just goes with the conversation, depending on who joins in. And you can join in on the text chat or live. A lot of people will sign in or log in while they're doing their 9 to 5 or their side jobs. So they've got somebody or it's like having an interactive radio station to listen to that's predominantly talking about guns. We'll be back at the same time every day, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, with episode 293. And we'll be talking about CCW, who thinks there should CCW cameras. We'll be talking about the book Animal Farm, and on Wednesdays we do the tactical quiz along with all the daily stuff as well. So unless you guys have anything else, we'll let Bob wrap it up.
All good.
All right, guys. Well,
Is there any history today?
I don't think so.
No, there's some
I'm sure something happened.
Did anything happen?
I didn't see anything either, so I guess grabbing it at the last minute.
I know today's tax day. That's history, as in my money is history for my bank account.
Yeah, that hurts. People talking about tax returns, but think about not letting the government hold on to all that money and just use your money throughout the year.
Yeah, I always owe. I set it up like that on purpose. It just was a little bit bigger this year than most.
Yeah, that's got to hurt. For some reason, I've almost always got money back, except for since I got divorced. And then it's just been, I've owed huge amounts of money. So yeah, it kind of sucked, but tis what it is, right? And especially if you live in Canada, you kind of realize you're going to pay like a lot of tax. You got to pay for a lot of shit. But yeah.
All right, so what's that quote?
All right, so this one's by Winston Churchill. Next to Teddy Roosevelt, he is one of my favorite world leaders, I guess. And but before I say that, I just want to remind everybody: please subscribe, please share, and please, Charlie, my dog's whining. I think he wants out. And please, thumbs up. So anyway, this is by Winston Churchill. A lie. It's actually really good at this time of with what's going on in the world. A lie gets halfway around. Ooh, boy, I'm talking like Dano today. A lie gets halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to get its pants on. So, thanks everybody for watching and listening, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.